in the business. Now, focus on the returns on your money without worrying about the return of your money. For over 30 years, Brokers Alliance has maintained one of the largest inventories of guaranteed and tax advantage products in the country and serves a nationwide network of financial professionals. Call 1-800-290-7226 or email thequest@brokersalliance.com. And remember, when you need financial guidance, call Brokers Alliance.
Well, welcome back to the Quest for Financial Freedom. I'm your host, Steve Savant. And of course, with me today is my special guest on the Quest, Eric Palmer, annuity expert and king of all that is annuities. And you can email me at thequest@brokersalliance.com or call us toll-free, 1-800-290-7226. That's 1-800-290-7226. In the segment of the today's show, we're going to talk about everything we talked about the whole week before. And we talked about a lot this week, and we're summarizing it. If you missed any of the shows, you can hop out to our Ustream account, our Vimeo account, or YouTube, depending upon what you want to look at. If you're an advisor, you can hop out to our website. Feel free to look at these 5 ideas, these 5 basic annuity shows to give you, it's a generic kind of an expression. We're giving an introduction, dip your toe in the water. And at the beginning of the week, we were talking about the tax deferral process versus maybe paying capital gains, because capital gains is much less than ordinary income tax, which tax deferral is under. But depending upon how long I hold my contract, I might be able to overcome that issue.
That's correct.
And the other issue is that I'm looking at all the different combinations of ownership. It's very important that we get this right, because about a third of all the annuities that I've seen held by clients, whether singular or joint tenancy, generally have been held wrong. And we don't want anybody to pay undue taxes, especially mom or dad, especially when the targeted beneficiary is the children and mom gets saddled with the taxable event. And we've seen this, right, Eric? I mean, this is
even dual taxation, where the owner, it could be mom, gets gift tax hits along with the income tax hits that actually hit the beneficiary or the children. So we want to avoid all that. We want to ask the right questions and determine who should be paying tax and when, ultimately, do we want to pay or do we have to pay tax?
I don't like the word double indemnity. So let's get the ownership issues right. And if you would say, I really like somebody to examine my annuities, did I do this right? And I don't know if we can repair some of this issue, because sometimes when you're in concrete after you've already issued the policy, but there's some things we can do to maybe mitigate that. If you want us to look at that, or you're considering annuity and you're saying, who should be the annuitant? Who should be the owner? Who should be the beneficiaries? We'll tell you in our expertise what we think you should do. And again, if you have annuities that you have right now and you just want to, hey, could you give us an annuity audit? Mm-hmm. Could you do that? We'll look at all that. And if you've heard our show, we talked about, especially Tuesday, we spent some significant time on market value adjusted annuities and guaranteed annuities. If you're a conservative saver, if you're a person who says, listen, I just want to lock down, I'm not playing the market, I don't have a heart anymore for any of this, I just don't have a disposition for the kind of things I've just went through for the last 3 or 4 years, look at market value, and we'll send you our chart that actually compares side by side all the market value annuities and guaranteed annuity rates. I mean, and that's a powerful tool to make your decision.
Absolutely. Choices are everything. We talk about the baby boomer market. It's the largest emerging retirement market we've ever seen in this industry. And over the next 20 years, those are the people we're going to be dealing with. So choices and options are key, and we make it really easy for you to interpret that by providing charts, materials, always updated, constantly evolving. This industry is a fast-moving target, and we're always on top of it.
I love the idea that we're looking at not only market value adjusted and guaranteed rates, but we're also looking at that, and that's great, especially if you want a ladder deferral. Maybe I wanted a 3-year, a 5-year, a 7-year, a 10-year annuity to space out my time of deferral and my time of constructive receipt to mitigate maybe tax issues and when I need the income. But I also like this immediate annuity. A couple days ago we were talking about this, and it's been around forever, but nobody talks about it. Medically underwritten, single premium, immediate annuities. I mean, Eric.
A lot of times we see that the medical side of this business, that the questioning that goes on with the client being avoided, and I think it's because you feel like maybe you're being a little invasive, but at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're putting to use or putting to best use your client's assets. And if we determine that a client has a significant health impairment, you could be providing them a lot more income. And that's what it really comes down to, is meeting the needs of those clients so that they can live a good life while they can during their lifetime.
Before you annuitize your annuity or purchase a single premium annuity, I want you to go ahead and call Eric at 800-290-7226. His team will calculate whether it's worthwhile for you to look at a medically underwritten contract. It could be worth anywhere between 25 and 75 basis points, or a quarter, or 75 basis points, or 0.75%. Sorry, I had a little senior moment there. And it's worthwhile because the internal rate of return is so huge. And it could be the difference between a regular lifestyle and something of a nicer lifestyle where you get to spend your money on other things. Because why? Your timeline is shorter. I'm looking at this. We talked about variable annuities. And again, we carry it. Both Eric and I own it. We know what we're paying for it. Yeah, there's some numbers in there that we have to pay, but we like the guarantees, and we like the floor, the income benefits that they give you, right? We like that basic guarantee that if something goes south, I at least get that pension paid at a percent, some of them anywhere between 5 and 7%, really a pretty good number. And some of the newer variable annuities that come out today actually will have a withdrawal benefit that preserves your original principal. Wow, there's a whole new technology. And we also chatted about, spent a serious amount of time on Thursday's show on this whole issue of indexing. It's so controversial. Most of the magazines, trade magazines that are fee-based, are so down on this product, and I just say it guarantees so much, and it has you the possibility of participating in an upswing market. You need to look at it. It's not for everybody, but we want you to look at not only good old the US of A, S&P, but we also want you to start thinking of the global indices like the Nikkei, the Hang Seng, the Euro 50, right? I mean, these are the FTSE. And I'm not talking about FTSE, okay?
I think it's important to note just, there's a large variety of these products. We have variable, we have index, we have multi-year guarantee. We all have different risk tolerance, and each one of these products fits into one of those risk tolerance categories. So again, the right questions up front are going to help you decide if one or a combination of all three of those types of annuities are going to meet the needs for the client.
And the big thing is if you do kind of a combination of annuities, you're not going to pay taxes until you use it. That's one of the great principles of an annuity. If you can walk away from this week's shows, one of the key issues is I've delayed paying taxes, and I want to keep delaying paying taxes. And actually, Eric, I'd rather not pay any taxes at all. However, living in the real world that we live in, the longer I can put it off, the better I'm going to be. Now, of course, it is accumulating. I'm going to have to pay the piper sooner or later.
Right.
But I'd rather pay them later than now. And most people, especially if you're in the zone where you're actually taking constructive receipt of your Social Security, this could be a good time because, remember, a lot of income on the provisional income test for Social Security, people use all, or the IRS will use all forms of income. And so if I can delay my payment, and unlike qualified plans, which you're forced to put out RMDs, right?
Right.
Where you have to make payments, required minimum distributions. Right. I don't have the same requirement, so I can defer that even longer.
And I'll throw this out there. We didn't really touch on it, but there's a lot of folks that we come across that are trying to qualify for Medicaid. Annuities play a role there, and we actually have the ability to use an annuity as an advantage to mom and dad to help them qualify for Medicaid. So a lot of application, a lot of product, but I think we've identified that it comes down to analysis, asking the right questions and find out which one or which combination thereof is going to work best.
Well, if I can defer my taxable event and I can position using annuities so that I can qualify for Medicare B,
right.
I'd like to. I'm just adding more numbers, and my Social Security isn't getting taxed.
Right.
I'm looking for all those things. When we do an analysis, we're looking for all-in implications of a product purchase so that I can look at the total all-in net spendable income. I want you to start thinking about that, ladies and gentlemen, advisors that are listening. I'm always looking for the net spendable. When I put all in issues on the table, what is my net number that I'm taking home from my client? And that includes, did my investment cause my Social Security to get taxed? Did my investment cause problems with my Medicare B? I want to look at all these areas first and do my calculation. Again, as we always suggest, talk to your CPA, your tax attorney advisor, to get consulted on some of the things that we're talking about. And remember that in any of these products, we have these all on a wonderful product grid, a comparison, so that you can get kind of a yin and a yang, whether it's market value annuities, comparing them with guarantees, or indexing, or variable contracts, or you're looking at all the possibilities of a single premium immediate annuity, and there's a lot. There's so many options. We want to be able to give it to you on a grid, a place where you can look at the comparisons, and if you're looking for an advisor, you can always call us at 1-800-290-7226, and we'll recommend people that we feel very comfortable with, that know our product line. And remember, how big is that product line? I mean, Eric, it's crazy.
Last year, we did annuity business with over 30 insurance companies to the tune of 5 to 10 products a piece. There's a lot, and that's just what we used. So, you know, there's an overwhelming amount of options, but I think if you turn to the professionals and ask the right questions, we can narrow it down real fast.
I mean, you live in this zone that is annuity all day long. And so our advisors come to you. You're one of the most popular webinars in the United States. They're coming to you for a reason, because you have this knowledge, Eric, and you track this. This is almost like kind of a sports scene with Eric here. Ladies and gentlemen, he's totally into it. And we've made it like a competition so that we can always know who are the players and the pretenders in the annuity market. And we'll always stay on the edge for the benefit of our advisors who want to be a blessing to their clients. That's the end game. You know, our end game is our client.
Exactly.
And we want to make sure our clients are getting the best deal. And if you're looking for guarantees, if you measure conservatism as I do, if you like the ability to only pay taxes when you use your money, actually, again, I don't want to pay taxes at all, but living in the reality that we live in, if this matters to you, annuities may be something that you need to look at. It is a powerful tool in deferral, and it's a powerful tool in its ability to lock down guaranteed rates so that you can sleep at night. And one of the things that I want to do is sleep well at night after the turbulence of the last 24, 46 months. I'm giving that, I'm extending that to our clients. You've heard Eric. You can write him again at The Quest at brokersalliance.com. You can call him toll free, 1-800-290-7226. Feel free to request any of these charts, comparison grids, so that you can be fully confident that you chose the right annuity. Eric, I want to thank you for the whole week you've been here for this.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. I would just echo what you said. You know, contact us. Let us put some of these materials in front of you. Don't forget the Pension Protection Act. We've got a website that's devoted to educating advisors on the Pension Protection Act so that you know it, you understand it, and you know how to apply it. So let us know what we can do for you.
Next week, we're going to continue on our quest, and we're going to continue on it until we have success. I want to thank Eric Palmer for being my guest, our sponsor, Brokers Alliance, and America. Where else can you go on a quest for financial freedom? So until next time, remember what the good Reverend John Wesley once said: make all you can, save all you can, give all you can. I'm Steve Savant. Join me next time on my quest for financial freedom.
Quest for Financial Freedom is brought to you by Brokers Alliance, the premier provider of guaranteed and tax advantage products to a nationwide network of financial professionals. Need financial guidance? Call Brokers Alliance. You can request an email link of this webcast at our email address, thequest@brokersalliance.com, or call us 1-800-290-7226. That's 800-290-7226. And join Steve Savant next time on the Quest for Financial Freedom in your lifetime.